This is Israeli Technology Founders Speak, a podcast of conversations with successful Israeli high-tech and biotech entrepreneurs. With your host, Avraham Hermon. Ori Ben Shlomo is the founder and CEO of JGive, an Israeli nonprofit giving platform that makes it easy to donate online to certified Israeli charities. It tracks donations in one place and offers full tax-deductible benefits while minimizing overhead to maximize impact. Avraham sat down with Ori to discuss how their technology works, how he came up with the idea, how he got funded, their future plans, tips for startup founders, and much more. This podcast is a creation of JMB Davis Ben David, an intellectual property law firm serving clients around the world. You have great innovations. We keep them safe. It's not enough to just have a great startup idea or innovation. If you don't legally protect your innovations, products, and brand, anyone can claim them as their own. We keep your great innovation secure. Learn more by going to jmbdavis.com. That's jmbdavis.com.
I'm here with Ori Ben Shlomo. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. Tell me a little bit about JGive and how it's different than any other platforms.
Thank you for having me. First, JGive, it's a not-for-profit that we founded 10 years ago. But our goal is to encourage giving in Israel and to Israel. And we use technology to do that, to build community of givers, of charities, and to help people from Israel and people from abroad that want to support Israel to give in more efficient, direct, and more impactful way.
So what problems existed before JGive that you came to solve in the field of philanthropy or donations and not-for-profit organizations that you support?
I'll start where that idea came from because maybe it will help to explain more the problem. When I was in high school, so every week we went to volunteer in soup kitchen. Every week went on a bus with friends here in Jerusalem. And every time that I came in, so I saw so many people there and I was proud about how many people, volunteers, try to give help and all of that. But on the other hand, I see a big mess there. It was like telemarketing, many people that you don't know what they do there. And I told myself, why it's so complicated? Some people, they want to donate, to give whatever, $100, for example, some cause that close to their heart. It should go directly without many middlemen.
I see. So there's overhead that a lot of organizations have for receiving donations, and you want to sort of cut that out, make sure that giving to the cause is more efficient.
Right.
So you're already in high school when you thought about this idea of JGive. You're 15, 16 or something like that?
Yeah, it was around 16, 17. It took a decade until we started it.
And it was in the back of your mind somewhere?
Yeah, it's a long journey. During the journey, studied law. I was a general attorney of one big press group here in Israel. And I tried to do it part-time, not part-time, as a volunteering in the night with a few friends, but maybe I was a bit naive that I can do something like that, a side project, 3 hours a week.
So at what point did you realize that you have to go into it full-time?
So in 2014, it was Protective Edge, what's called Tzuk Eitan, its operation was here in Israel, and they called me to reserve. And I remember that went up to the north and we organized all our equipment and went down to the south. And in the way down to the south, I saw so many people out there give us whatever it was, food, it was packages. We went down from the north and people all the way gave us things. It was food, clothes, whatever we need. And I saw the spirit of giving of the Israelis. And I told myself after that went in Gaza, that's something that I want. I remembered my initial idea and I said, once I'll get out from here, I want to do something with that. And in this stage, I was in some junction in my life. It was clear for me that I want to move on to be an entrepreneur and more in the tech industry. But I said sometimes priorities change in those situations. I told myself, once I'll get out, I want to do something that will help society for a few years, and then I'll move on to the next thing.
Got it. Okay. Wow. So out of a tragic situation like a war, then this idea was essentially born. You saw people giving and donating. I think it's interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs came to me recently and they say to me, I was just fighting in the Gaza Strip and I had this idea. So this isn't the first idea that I'm coming across that's somehow inspired by difficult situation or tragic situation.
Right. Yeah. JGive was born then, and one of the main need, I think, was that I felt that the heart was there. It's like the soup kitchen. The heart was there, but system not so much. Like I felt that people give, but they give too much or the wrong things, and we need to do something to organize it. And fast forward, like 2 years ago, when October 7th came, we saw the big change and the big impact that we have made through JGive. Once we build very strong infrastructures that allow people to give and to do it in a better way, you see that you can raise much more money and the money can go to the right causes and to the right place.
So aside from you, who else was involved in the founding?
So in the beginning, as I said, it was like, very small group. I was the main founder and I had few friends that helped me in the beginning. I think the main challenge in organization like JGive is that we try to be hybrid. On one hand, to be a tech company, but on the other hand, to be a not-for-profit. So you go to people, try to raise money and say, oh, maybe it's a cute idea. It's a good idea. It will help society, but usually we're not going to invest. Like we basically look for donors to donate in like tech company. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that you can promise them or you can sell a dream of social exit.
I see.
So It was much harder to raise money. And after many no's, I got the first yes that helped us like to do the seed route and to move on and to start build JGive.
I see. Okay. So here you're going to investors. You have the same challenges as any other technology company, except you're not promising them percentages in return for the company. That's difficult. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the end, of course, if you find the right people, because we have many people in the field that they want to change the culture of giving. Mm-hmm. But again, it's much harder. Like in Israel, especially, maybe, for example, in the US, it could be easier to find a company that will do good but will make money. Mm-hmm. In Israel, because of the culture, especially in a very sensitive place of donations, that people will be concerned and afraid that the money will not go to the right places. If you want to make a real change, you need to come in place that say, we are like full transparent, we are not for profit, maybe we're a tech company, but we do it in transparent way.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you're a tech company. Talk a little bit about the technology that's involved in your platform, if you can.
So basically, it's a SaaS product, a different product we have a marketplace for giving. We call it Giving Place for charities, for corporations, and for donors. Okay, and try to combine all of that in one place. So for charities, we give tools that can help them to raise money like crowdfunding and clearing credit cards in Israel, from the US, from UK and other places. Like a fintech company, we give them all the tools that they need to collect money to the organization. Now we're going to launch a new CRM and system that can help them to manage their donors side. We have also for corporations, we have corporations like NVIDIA, Mobileye, and big companies here in Israel that used our tools to encourage giving in the workplaces.
I see, like matching donations, things like that.
Yeah, we have matching campaigns and all of that. Last week went to some big company here in Israel that they, for example, launch a matching campaign that they match 4 times for their donors. It's amazing. Whoa. It's like very important to the executive team there to have the culture of giving in the company. And we have the third pillar is donors. So we have donors that's called regular donors that donate, let's say, up to $10,000 yearly. But we have also called it platinum, that's big donors that donate more than $10,000 yearly to around, we have also 9 digits donors that really manage their fund here in JGive in what's called Donor Advice Fund.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell a little bit about the Donor Advice Fund and what it does?
So about our Donor Advice Fund, it's not our concept, like every good concept came from the US, but maybe 50 years after. But basically it helps founders and other people and families to manage their philanthropy in a wise way. For example, if you're a donor that you want to donate, and in this year you made an exit, so this tool allows you to donate money now to your fund, like to open a fund in JGive, to donate the money, let's say, for example, $100,000, to get immediately the tax receipt, and then to grant it out during the time. So it solves you the issue that you want now to donate, but grant later in better way. In Israel, we just added recently the option with tax authority, some ruling that you can even donate stocks and other properties that help you to maximize your tax benefits. So all of that's like new tools that really help people in Israel and people that support Israel to donate more money that will go, to the right places.
So who are your average users of the JGive platform?
We have the donor between 100 shekel to 9-digit, to 100 million shekel.
Wow.
And all this range, so we have different kind of users that we give them a different level of service.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basically what we have. Of course, let's call it regular users. It's more that's self-service. Mm-hmm. And the other users, sometimes we need to give them more custom-made service to help them, like private banking, to manage their philanthropy. But of course, all of that with our technology that really can help them to manage their philanthropy in a very efficient way.
Mm-hmm. So what influence does being in Israel have on JGive? And you could talk to, especially the last few years, since Israel's been going through a difficult time.
Yeah, the day of October 7 changed everything in Israel. It was Saturday night. I remember myself, we got calls from like all around, from US to London, Tel Aviv, like everyone called us, say how we can help with the situation, companies, individuals, everyone called us and say what we can do and who we can help. And I think in this moment, I decided to do two main things. One, open kind of very dedicated team to help all the charities here in Israel to raise money immediately to help their needs. And second thing, it's first time to open kind of fund to help people that they want to donate, but they don't know where to donate. They have a place that they can donate money to. And we had a committee that distributes the money to, the places that need it. Mm-hmm. And the chairman, for example, of this committee, it was Eliezer Shkedi, Air Force Commander, Nathan Sharansky. It's 7 members of the committee that we set every day in the beginning to distribute the money and to decide where we need to do it. It was like a Maslow hierarchy. Mm-hmm. And first day it was very basic needs like clothes, food, and medical things that we gave out. And after that, it moved on to more, let's say, mental health. And now it's more things to help to rehabilitation that can help communities and soldiers to go back, hopefully, to routine.
Mm-hmm. Can you address the amount of donations received for Israel over that period after October 7th?
Yeah, so just to have some benchmark, in 2022, through JGive went around 140 million shekel of donations.
Impressive.
And 2023, it was around 360 million shekel.
Wow.
It was amazing. In the beginning, we said, it's an outlier. The last quarter of 2023, quarter of October 7th, of course, so we'll see this jump. But what's more interesting, during 2024, it was around the same number, the same pace also in 2024. And now in 2025, we even see increasing like 30% so far. It's a big amount. I think it shows that we here in Israel and people that support Israel, we have something change in the culture. People want to give, people want to support, people understand the needs and they do it. And you asked about number of donors. So last year we had around 350,000 unique donors that use our platform.
Wow, that's a lot. So hopefully that will continue even without a war. The war will end and then growth will still continue, hopefully.
Yes, this is part of I think the main thing that happened in the Israeli society since the war, but I think it's also around the world that people understand now that all the civil sector and third sector, it's not nice to have, it's must have. If you want strong society, you need civilians to be involved in what's going on, of course, with advanced tools, things that can help them to do it in a better way, but people need to be involved.
Mm-hmm. So what are your biggest hurdles moving forward for JGive?
I think in general, we have 3 things that I can mention. First, it's regulation all the time because it's new. We try to get rid of barriers here in Israel to make giving more efficient. You need to have some help from regulation. So far, we made many things. We have like full partnership with the tax authority in Israel, but down the road, we have more things that we want to solve. For example, what I told you about the stack donation, it's quite new. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's helped people to give much more. We want to solve some RSU donations. So regulation, I think it's the main thing. Also now with all the change with AI and innovation, we try to understand what's our role there. We try to work very hard, but I think that the main sector, not main sector, but for us, it's called the main sector, that charities should use those tools and in general understand how it can help society, because usually we think about charities all around the world as something old-fashioned. It's very hard for them to embrace new tools. So we see it also as our main challenge. And the third one's like everyone's resources. Like we have enough, but all the time we have more projects and we need more time and more resources to do what we want to do. But we need those challenges to move on.
So this is really our first not-for-profit organization here on this podcast. So I'm happy to learn about it and to understand the struggles. And it's clearly different and unique than our standard interview that we have. But I'm glad we have this opportunity. Maybe you can give some tips to people who are in the field of maybe even non-for-profit startup. What would you recommend they keep in mind?
Right. So first, I want to say that as an entrepreneur in a not-for-profit technology, not-for-profit, so I have all the downsides, but the upside's great. It will be a social exit, but you have all the downsides. So it's like the same journey, basically, but sometimes much harder as we talk, like to raise money and to other things. But in the end, you need to build product from 0 to 1. You need to work very hard. You need to have some market that you want to meet. So in general, I think that basically it's the same, and also the knowledge, it's technology. But I want to say before that I see more and more people now in Israel, and also people that support Israel, that say how after the war or during the war, how we can do something with mission. Like people want to do something that can change society. We see it all the time. Also, when we hire people from tech companies that say want to do with our time something more with higher mission. And so I think it's a great question that can help many people. And first, I think people should know that it's a journey, right? It's like ups and downs. And once you decide, I remember myself in the beginning told my family that I'm going to take 3 months break to try to build it, to plan it, to find people that will to raise money for that. And people around me and family say, what's going on with you? Go find a job. Like, did you send CVs to companies? And, you need to understand the journey. It's not 1 week, 2 weeks. You need to be built for that and to say, I'm going to close some period of time that I'm going to be dedicated for that and try to do it and to have ups and downs, because at least in the beginnings we have more downs than ups.
Sure.
This is the main thing. I think that also first we talk about to understand that it's a journey. I think that we also need to know how to maintain this journey, because every day you have something else, and in the beginning more challenges. So for example, for me to swim, it's something that I have some quiet time to organize myself and to charge my energy and to think how to solve things. Everyone is different, but you should find something that can help you to go over the more difficult situation and to maintain yourself.
That's good advice. I don't think I've ever heard that from a startup founder to date when I ask similar questions, but I think that's important advice. Everyone needs some time to basically think, detach a little bit, invest in yourself and think.
Right. And also I think third, it's to know that the unknown is your friend for a long time. Like it's something that I remember in the beginning, for example, my mother asked me, what's the idea? This idea. It took me, I think, 3 years to explain to her what's the idea. And it's much bigger. You talk to people, they don't understand exactly what you do, and they think this thing is for all the entrepreneurs the same, because in the beginning we try to build something that's not clear, because if it was clear, so we would have it in most cases, we try to build something new in the world. So to know that the unknown, and people maybe will not understand us, we don't know what will be exactly the next step, who is our who is our main audience. If we know it, it's much better. And I think I'll add last thing, that we know that not all the things under our control, to be focused more on things that we can change and we can influence, but to be okay and calm things that we don't have any control and say, this is life. And then I think life is much better.
Yeah, that's great advice. These are important tips, I think. Where do you see JGive in another few years down the road? What plans do you have for the future?
So, because I believe that our future is society, and this is what will make our country much better. So, what we try to do is first to take our marketplace and to expand it, and to make it also more deeper, like more donors, more charities, and more tools that can help them to do it in a better way. And we try also to build partnerships between different groups, philanthropy groups, and to help with different charities, because sometimes you see some duplicates, like to take it to the next level. And also, in numbers, our main KPI is how much money goes through the platform. So we have our ambition target there. But I think that in general, our main challenge here in Israel, and it's also the JGive is part of the challenge, is I can say that we're, as a country, we're very strong in main areas. Like those are our main powerfuls: technology, economy, and defense. And now our main challenge is to build the fourth pillar, that this is strong society. And for strong society, we need people, as we said, that involve and everyone do even little things in his area, and then we can build very strong society. So we are part of bigger vision, and we try to do our best.
Okay, great. This has been very interesting, and I hope it's also been interesting for our listeners. So thanks a lot for taking the time and for having me out here in your Jerusalem office.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to hearing great things, more great things about JGive, and wishing you success.
Thank you very much.
That was Ori Ben Shlomo, the founder and CEO of JGive. We hope you enjoyed this episode. There are many more to come. Do you have a great innovation or startup idea? We'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us by going to our website, jmbdavis.com. And if you go to jmbdavis.com/startup, you'll see we have a special site specifically made for startups to help startups protect their innovations. Please be in touch with us and find out how we can help you. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to bringing you the next episode.